What's up, everybody? How much do you think you know about the Buick Grand National? Well, we're about to find out. Some people think the Buick Grand National is its own entity, and if you are one of those people, I hate to say, you're wrong. If you wanted a Buick Grand National back in the day, you first had to order a Buick Regal. Then you had to order the Grand National package, because that's really all Grand National is a Buick Regal with a trim package. How did this come to be? Well, back in 81 and 82, Buick ran back-to-back championships in the NASCAR Grand National Series. To commemorate these wins, Buick figured, let's make a Grand National Edition Regal for the street. It sported a two-tone gray paint, red pinstriping, blacked out wheel wells and rocker panels, a new front air dam and splitter, and a 4.1 naturally aspirated V6, putting out an earth-shattering 125 horsepower. Buick did offer a turbocharger back then, but only 35 were made, and if you got one, it was 175 horsepower. This was a rush job for Buick, because what won on Sunday, sold on Monday. So they say. A rush job like that needs a few tweaks. So in 83, there were no Grand Nationals. They took that time to refine and revise the car. So in 84, when the car was reintroduced, people noticed. The new Grand National came in one color and one color only. Black. Why black? Because it's cool, that's why. That's all you need to know. This was also the first year the iconic 3.8 turbocharged engine came out, and it was good for 200 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. This was an astounding amount of power for 84. To put it in retrospect, a Buick with 200 horsepower was only 5 horsepower behind the Corvette. The C4 Corvette was only a couple tenths of a second faster in the quarter mile, which people really scratched their head on. A Buick Regal was only a couple tenths behind the C4 Corvette. In 86, the Grand National got an air-to-air intercooler, which bumped horsepower to 235 and torque all the way up to 350. In 87, Buick finally dished the last little bit of chrome on the car, which was around the grille, completing the full blacked out appearance. Engine got a few little tweaks, which bumped horsepower to 245 and torque to 355. That was good for 0 to 60 of 6 seconds and a quarter mile in the low 14s. This was faster than the Firebird, the Camaro, the Mustang, and even the Corvette. This was now the fastest muscle car of the 80s. But did Buick stop there? Hell no, they didn't. Buick sent 547 Grand Nationals to McLaren. Yes, that McLaren. So that they could revise the Grand National, modify it, tweak it for their last hoorah. They added bigger intercoolers, bigger turbos, better suspension, remapped the ECU, switched out the gauge cluster, and a few other minor tweaks. And when they were done, they introduced the Buick Grand National, known as the GNX. The X stood for experimental. Buick claims this car put out 276 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. It ran 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds and a quarter mile of 13.4 at 103. The GNX was the baddest domestic-built car of its time. Looking back at it, that's actually pretty respectable even for today. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about the Grand National and exactly how badass this car really is, and why it's still so sought after. Personally, I'd love to have one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments down below. If there's any other cars you want to know about, hit me up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell next to it, and I'll catch you guys next time.